UFC Vegas 105 just recently wrapped up, and I am going to recap the entire card. I'm going to start with the first fight of the night and then work my way up to the main event. So make sure you guys smash the like button, and if you're new, subscribe. As far as how the card was, I'll just tell you out the gate, not good. All right? Not good. Let's get into the breakdown. Starting it off, we had Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. Alencar grapple fucked her for 3 rounds, absolutely dominated her, and showed a completely different level of jiu-jitsu skills and takedown ability. Demopoulos literally had no answer for Alencar's grappling threat. Takedown control, nothing Demopoulos can do. I mean, give Demopoulos some respect. She didn't get finished. I guess that's on the bright side of things, but she was handled. Back-to-back losses for her now. Alencar gets a win over a savvy veteran. This was on paper, actually, a pretty good win for Talita Alencar, whose only other win in the UFC was a close fight with Rayani Amanda, who's really not all that good. She lost to Puja Tomar. So for Alencar to go out there and body Demopoulos to a lopsided decision after her only other UFC win being a close split decision with someone that's really not UFC level at all, shows some improvement. It looked pretty good. Wasn't a super entertaining fight, but quality result for Talita Alencar. You got to give her some respect, man. I thought Vanessa Demopoulos would have some striking success. She had none. Alencar gets her to the ground, smothers her, controls her, outworks her, little ground and pound, dominant fight. I love a jiu-jitsu fighter, transitions to MMA, dominates Vanessa Demopoulos, who, competes in grappling as well, but not near Alencar's level. Respect to Alencar. Good win. Next fight, Martin Buday versus Satybaldiev. This one was so frustrating. So Davey Grant was my savage dog lock, but I gave you guys a savage replacement underdog with Satybaldiev, and he lost, which sucks. But he was trying hard in the end of the fight, still looking to mix it up. Oh my gosh. Martin Buday had a huge weight advantage on fight day, like 60 pounds. And I said the only way Buday really wins this fight is smothering Satybaldiev against the cage. And he did that for pretty much every round, but still was rocked in round 3. The smothering, pressure, blubber fest, Martin Buday secures a decision against a decent striker slash, prospect. He's got decent ground skills too. Buday had some moments on the stand-up. He did land a few shots. Big weight advantage was evident, was able to control when we were against the cage and just embrace the smother. We saw a lot of smothering on this card, but this was like the least skillful of all the smotherers. Landed the perfect straight right hand that badly rocked Martin Buday in round 3, but for some reason, a negative fight IQ is what he had, decided to try and grapple him. Yeah, I knew shit was going to hit the fan at that moment. I said, we're fucked. Unfortunately, how it goes. Martin Buday's striking didn't look awful, though. Landed some clean punches, decent leg kicks. He won the first 2 rounds. Satybaldiev, I'm assuming he drops back down to 205. I don't know, man. Okay debut. He's got heart. He tries. Questionable fight IQ, though. Decent right hand. Has some power. Martin Buday's a big motherfucker. A 60-pound weight advantage. They said on fight day he weighed like 280 something. And that weight advantage was evident as he just backed up, and he was able to just control him against the cage and land pepper and shots. And then rocked him in round 3, but fumbled instead of trying to hunt for a finish, looking to land a takedown, which was just nonsensical to me. But Buday definitely nabbed the first 2 rounds. I scored at 29-28. No bullshit or bias for me. Down the center per usual. Martin Buday, the rightful winner. He was a savage, but did not cash as an underdog, but is what it is. Dust ourselves off, pick ourselves up from our bootstraps. Back to work for UFC 340. Victor Henry absolutely exposed Pedro Falcão. I guess he didn't absolutely expose him, kind of reaching a bit, but Victor Henry had a high volume attack, was able to fend off the grappling pressure of Pedro Falcão, had some good striking moments for himself, even was able to land takedowns on Falcão. Falcão landed more takedowns, but Victor Henry was just more effective throughout the whole fight. His striking looked pretty good. He was a lot faster than Falcão. He dropped him in round number 1. I believe Falcão nabbed round number 2, but I don't have the official scorecards in front of me, but I know it was 29-28, and I scored it similar. And then, Henry still kept the pace on in round 3. Falcão started breaking and falling apart, and Victor Henry, relentless guy, doesn't quit on himself. He looked pretty good, honestly. Fast striking, accurate striking, really good grappling defense against a high caliber jiu-jitsu stylist. Yeah, he gives Falcão now an 0-2 UFC record. Henry's got that veteran savviness. At 37, he's still in his prime. I mean, this is nowhere he's going besides UFC fights. He's a good gatekeeper, you know, outside of that like top 30. Guys that are 0-1 or 1-0 even in the UFC, they fight a Victor Henry. It's a real tough matchup. Shout out to Victor Henry for the hair, man. The dude's got the flow. His fighting skills look good per usual. I knew he had high output, usually good takedown defense. I mean, taking down a handful of times here, but out of 13 attempts, he was only taken down 4 times. So like percentage wise, the takedown defense was rather good. Really not a significant threat from Falcão when they hit the mat either. Falcão was trying to secure back control, but unable to. Victor Henry, too crafty with his defensive knowledge to really allow Falcão any major moments of like, oh shit, he's under the chin or anything like that. Victor Henry, simply put, just a better fighter, a slicker fighter, a quicker fighter, and the rightful winner. So shout out Victor Henry pulling through. Next one, Lookboonmee gives Istela Nunes a 50-50 record, but Istela Nunes gave a good account for herself. She actually gave Loma a tough fight. She had moments in round 1. Thought she could have nabbed the first round. She definitely lost the second and third, though. Istela Nunes had good strikes from the outside, landed some kicks, mixed it up with Loma, even finished the round. Ended up getting in top position because Lookboonmee made a mistake trying to shoot for a takedown. I mean, Istela Nunes did pretty damn well for herself. I would say of all her UFC performances, this and her Sam Hughes fight were the 2 best, but I think this was the best one. She gave Loma a legit run for her money, and Loma was also the best girl that Istela Nunes had ever fought. But she's 0-5 in the UFC and 6-6 as a pro fighter. So even though she showed a lot of guts and loss, it's hard for me to imagine a world where she's still on the UFC roster come Monday. She was freaking out after the fight. Like, she acted as if she was completely robbed. Loma was definitely more tired than her come the end of round 3, but Loma controlled a majority of the 3rd round. She won the 2nd round. It was an underwhelming performance, but hit some throws, landed some takedowns, finished the fight strong, nabbed the 2nd and 3rd round. For as wide as the odds were, you know, extremely wide, you see minus 1150. You know, a lot of people expected Loma to look more dominant. I thought Istela would look okay early in the fight, but I think she looked better throughout the fight than I anticipated. She made it a lot closer, and I feel like the shock factor had people in awe. People in the chat were trying to say Nunes 2-1. No, it was 2-1 Loma Lookboonmee, but it wasn't like a wow performance, right? Because Istela Nunes is considered a bum, but she's a lot better than her record. She's 0-5 in the UFC, but I feel like she's like the best 0-5 UFC chick we've ever seen. She's not as awful as some girls that get wins in the UFC, but probably won't be fighting in the UFC any longer. Loma Lookboonmee secures her UFC roster spot. Still, I was pretty underwhelmed, man. I was pretty underwhelmed. It was a snoozy fight. It wasn't great. Some decent striking exchanges. Not great, though. Decent kicks from Loma, but more the grappling threat one of the fight. Wasn't one of those performances like, yo, Loma's making a run. I don't see that, but she is on a 4-fight win streak, and she's 7-2 in the UFC, but 29-28, you know, on 2 out of the 3 judges' scorecards, and realistically on my scorecard too. So a real, you know, competitive fight against a girl that by many is considered a can. It's not a great look, though. Istela Nunes is better than the record will have you believing. Loma won. Of course. Rhys McKee, well, this was a savage underdog pick that came through, and looking back in hindsight, my God, I wish I would have fucking replaced the savage lock with him. McKee looked excellent early in the fight. Cracking Daniel Frunza, dropping him 4 times in round number 1. His hands look really good. He exposed Frunza's lack of defense, and he gave Frunza a disgusting gash on his lip and shut his eye in round number 1. Doctor stops the fight between rounds, but I will give Frunza some credit. He was coming on strong towards the end of round 1, still throwing heavy shots. And if the lip, excuse me, whoa, losing my voice over here. If the lip is not sliced open and the fight isn't stopped, I know this might seem like a crazy take, but I could have seen Rhys McKee tired, getting caught with bombs, and Frunza just relentless. The Frunza toughness is fucking crazy because he absolutely wanted to fight, but you can't. The lip split open. I mean, that can fucking go back. I think it can like slice into the nasal cavity. Good job on the doctors for stopping it. You don't need a fight going after the lip is split. Frunza, I heard that I mean, I know he's getting stitches, but I've heard that that is a gnarly stitches. Like the pain of those stitches is way worse than the pain of actually getting punched in the face and your lip split open. So hopefully Frunza's all right after getting stitched that lip, you know? Probably can't eat too much sandwiches or anything like that for a while. Won't be enjoying food. Might be stuck on smoothies for a minute. Rhys McKee looked good though. First UFC win, 1-4 in the UFC now. Was not destined to follow in Istela Nunes' footsteps and go 0-5. And good underdog pick here in this one. Rhys McKee pulled through. Hard fought win. Did a lot of damage early, exposed Frunza's lack of defense, but I still rate Frunza's toughness as really fucking high because he did not quit on himself at all and had that crazy look in his eye between rounds where it's like he really thought he could still win this fight, even though he got 10-8'd in round one because Rhys McKee just destroyed him, dropped him. I mean, it says 3, but I feel like he dropped him 4 times, to be honest. One-sided ass whooping, good boxing display, or rather kickboxing display in general. For Rhys McKee, landed some big clean shots. Nice jab, too, by McKee. Good win. Next up, Diana Belbiţă essentially gets retired by Dione Barbosa. I mean, Belbiţă's never really lived up to any hype. I remember when she came into the UFC as this like young, exciting striker. She never got better. She still got that looping overhand that caught Barbosa a few times, but as soon as this fight hit the mat, as expected, Barbosa submitted her. Barbosa's striking did look good, though. When she turned it on, she was nasty. She was accurate. She was quick. She was powerful. She was aggressive. Her Muay Thai is pretty nice. Belbiţă caught her with a few nice looping shots, but Diana Belbiţă, she's young at 28, but she seems checked out of the game. Hasn't really made improvements. Doesn't really have the athleticism. Doesn't have the grappling. And now another loss, man. Barbosa subbing her in round 1. It's just probably it. 2-6 in the UFC, and her wins are against Maria Oliveira and Hannah Goldie, 2 girls that are no longer with the promotion. It's about time that Belbiţă's probably let go. I know she's opening up a gym, and she said before this fight, like, you know, I want to win, but it's not the end of the world if I don't. And I just hated that mentality because I knew Barbosa was like, I need this win. I'm looking to be elite. And I feel like Barbosa's real good. I'm excited to see what Barbosa does here forthcoming in the women's flyweight division. Her one UFC loss was her last fight. It was against Miranda Maverick and still was able to go 3 hard rounds. She's really actually a quite athletic girl. Her striking is smooth. Her grappling is very strong. Her jiu-jitsu is fucking legit, has a judo base. I like Dione Barbosa's ability. These unranked girls are going to be in for hell against a well-versed fighter like Dione Barbosa. So respect to her getting an absolutely dominant win. And that closed out the prelims and the main card kicked off. And the snooze fest of a century. Now, granted, give respect to Torrez Finney for picking up and slamming Valentin a handful of times. He landed 8 takedowns. Valentin could not keep Torrez Finney off of him. Finney was just relentless with forward pressure. Round 1, picks up Valentin, throws him to the ground. Valentin slowly works up to his feet, peppering shots as he's pressured against the cage. Finney picks him up, slams him, picks him up, slams him. Rinse, repeat for the first 2 rounds. Fucking Valentin trying like to get a Kimura grip from bottom. Nothing's there. Can't hit a sweep, can't hit a reversal. Gets up for a second. Finney just more relentless pressure and just pinning him against the cage or pinning him to the ground for short periods of time before Valentin eventually works up to his feet. Finney at one point tried to get the back of Valentin, slipped off the top, doesn't seem to have the jiu-jitsu skills, does have the wrestling, but not the jiu-jitsu, so he can't really keep Valentin on the ground, so it's just continuous. It's like perpetual get up, takedown, get up, takedown, get up, takedown, smother against the cage, can't land a takedown, smother. And Valentin's trying to work elbows. He's trying to work shots. Like, the strike differential is crazy. 93 strikes to 17 is fucking insane. But the guy that won the fight is the one just landing the takedowns. And 13 out of 15 minutes, he controlled Valentin. It sucked, but it was a winning effort. Now, the 3rd round, Valentin had some striking success. And oh my God, Beltran, thank God he was stepping in there. The stalling. Finney was tired. Finney was uncomfortable on the feet, and he just kept pressing forward, kept pressing, just holding against the cage. Definitely a stalling tactic, right? It's one of those things, like, should there be a penalty for stalling in that sense? You know, just pressuring forward like that? Should there be some type of penalty for that style of fighting? I don't know what it would be. I know Pride FC had the yellow card. You know, they'd take a percentage of your purse if you're stalling. I don't know if they're going to deduct a point, right? It's a weird circumstance. An eye poke is a foul, and, you know, that's, a blatant foul that can cause a fight change, a groin shot, same type of thing, back of the head strike, same type of thing. But a stalling, right? Just pressuring and holding against the cage. I mean, it's horrible for the sport, right? This style, if every fighter fought like Torrez Finney, there would be no UFC. Like, let's just keep it a buck. I like Torrez Finney. Seems like a super nice guy. He's jacked and he's got the little meme lore and he's, built a little fanhood throughout social media from, his Contender Series run. But it was an absolute snoozer and one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Valentin was trying to work strikes in round 3 and he had some striking success, but he just could not keep Finney off of him. Valentin trying to work elbows. Ref breaks him the back, pressure. My God. Horrid performance. Tony Weeks, boxing referee, was one of the judges. Scores it 30-27 Valentin. Respect to the base god in Tony Weeks for saying, fuck that pressure style. It's all about damage. But ultimately, the fair decision was 29-28 for Torrez Finney. Valentin, as tough as he was, and, the fact that he was throwing big shots and trying to do damage, it's nice, but he still lost according to the unified rules. It just sucked. It just sucked, man. Finney might be on the chopping block, man. This type of fight, if he loses his next one, knowing that Dana White was already hesitant signing the dude, loses the next one, he could be out. His wrestling's real good, but he doesn't really have anything else. His striking looked pretty bad. Strength is good. Pressure is good. Wrestling is good. Nothing else is there. So he's going to need to shore up some holes and shore them up fast. Now, the guy that he beat in Valentin is towards the bottom of, the UFC middleweight division. He's an Ultimate Fighter finalist, and I like Valentin. I don't know where the fuck Torrez Finney goes from here. Where was Valentin's ranking at with Tapology? Where they have him at? Tapology consider him in the fucking top 100. Wow. So realistically, this was, an irrelevant fight towards any high level. I'm just trying to see if there's somebody that calls my name for a potential fight. Let me look at middleweight. Let's see. All right, I'm going to look at the bottom of the middleweight division. So Jose Medina versus Valentin. Maybe that's the next fight. Torrez Finney versus who? So Valentin was at the bottom of Ranking MMA's list at 62. I mean, maybe Ozzy Diaz versus Torrez Finney. I don't know what level they want to give him. But, like, what are they going to do? Zachary Rhys, who's got good jiu-jitsu. That could be a cool fight. Zachary Rhys versus Torrez Finney. Battle of the fucking country bumpkins. I'm in on that. Do the Zach Rhys fight. Let's find out. Either Zach Rhys or Cody Brundage. Those are the two options for Torrez Finney. If he fights Brundage, who can wrestle, honestly, it's not a bad idea. I think Brundage could fucking knock Torrez Finney out. I'd like to see Brundage and Torrez Finney. I think you guys would like to see it too. Let's do that. For Valentin, it's either UFC release or it's somebody who's fucking terrible. I don't even know why we're keeping him on the roster. Jose Medina. Loser leaves town, but realistically, both of them could get cut. Like, hey, we're going to give you guys a fight, but both of you are going to get released after. Yeah, that was hard to watch. Let's keep running, please. Ode Osbourne with a sick knockout of Louis Gurule. I respect the fuck out of Ode Osbourne. Takes out a dangerous, pressure-based fighter who's got good wrestling in Louis Gurule. Lost the first round, got taken down and controlled a bit. Didn't give up on himself, stayed confident, landed a big straight shot. Gurule got rock bad in round 2. The outside striking of Osbourne looked clean. He looked slick. He looked quick, and he won as a big underdog. And shout out my fucking brother for picking Menace to Society, goddammit. My God. Where does he go from here? I sit here and wonder myself. I mean, beating Louis Gurule, who was unranked, doesn't necessarily jump your stock that much. So then I'm like, okay, do we do a fight against somebody more towards the elite caliber, or are we keeping them in the lower tier? Like, are they going to give him Clayton Carpenter next, who's a good wrestler, grappler? Or are they going to do a fight against maybe the likes of Felipe Bunez? That's not a bad matchup. Osbourne Bunez, I kind of like that fight. Bunez with the submission threat, Osbourne the power threat. Bro, book that fight. Set right now. AJ the matchmaker. Osbourne, Felipe Bunez. Osbourne didn't take a ton of damage. You could do it this summer. Bunez is going to be looking for a fight after the Jose Johnson win. Bang. There we go. For Gurule, I mean, they'll keep him on the roster, but I don't know, man. Lucas Rocha next? That kind of makes sense. Stuart Nickel next? Maybe. Naim Jargal, Tumen Dumbarall, maybe? I really don't know. Give him, oh my God, you could just give him Sahota, the dude who lost the road to UFC championships, the Punjabi guy. Louis Gurule versus him. I mean, Gurule's all right, man. It's not like he's a complete can. Getting knocked out by Osbourne is not, the end all be all, but still not a good look. Still a rough loss. He's no longer 10-0, but he'll be back. He fights one of these lower level guys towards the back end of the flyweight division. Like, he can beat a guy like a Lucas Hosha or even somebody like a Naim Jargal, Tumen Dumbro, and definitely somebody like a Sahota would be at risk of getting knocked out by him. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Louis Gurule. I just, think he got kind of exploited by an Ode Osbourne that's a consistent underperformer and a pretty bad grappler. But the striking of Osbourne, still stable. Good win. Brad Tavares takes out GM3. Death, taxes, and GM3 by sub. No. Not anymore. One of the MMA 12 commandments, GM3 by sub, round 3. No. Brad Tavares defended the grappling. He lost the third round, so give Meerschaert some respect for winning that final round, trying to pressure grapple, looking for his big moment. But Brad Tavares was able to outstrike him in the first two, landed some big shots, had Gerald Meerschaert knocked off balance. Meerschaert went 0-8 on takedown attempts, was obviously the slower striker, as many people would have anticipated, was at a disadvantage in the stand-up pretty cleanly. Meerschaert failing a shitload of takedowns. Tavares with good defense, good clinch defense. Able to outstrike him. Perfect prediction down the center as I expected. Tavares by a decision gets it done, and he ties Michael Bisping's record for the most middleweight wins. Holy shit, man. I remember the Ultimate Fighter season 11. Brad Tavares was on it, and it's wild to see that he's in the UFC still doing things where, like, what, Nick Ring was on that season. He was supposed to be good, didn't do nothing. Court McGee stuck around, so give Court some respect. His boy was in the finals. Chris, I forget his name. Holy shit. Years ago. Tough 11, bro. But respect to him making a UFC career. Where is Brad Tavares even ranked? I have no idea. Like, where is he considered? At one point, he was in the top 15. Now, a little bit far out from it. Is it wild that I'm thinking a fight between him and either Andre Petroski or Bruno Ferreira are slight possibilities? I don't think those are bad matchups. They kind of make sense. Took out GM3. Bruno Ferreira is a powerhouse coming off the big win over Armin Petrosian, but he lost to Abbas Magomedov, who was that next level jump. Andre Petroski on a 3-fight win streak just beat Adolfo Vieira, but not like he's beaten any high caliber guys as of recent. Tavares a gritty OG. I think both of those are good outcomes and options, man. Tavares with another win. Trying to break the UFC win record. I feel like he's eventually gonna. I don't know if it's his next fight. I could see him losing if they jump him up in ranks, but he'll beat somebody. For Gerald Meerschaert, is Paul Craig back at light heavyweight? Oh my God, we missed out. Paul Craig he's back at light heavyweight. I'm 99% sure. Yeah, he's fighting next week. What am I talking about? He's fighting fucking Bellato. Not next week, next month. He's fighting Bellato. Damn it. The Paul Craig GM3 fight was just never destined to happen, but I would have liked to have seen it. I kind of like the idea of going GM3 versus Adolfo Vieira in the battle of grapplers. I feel like we might as well do something random like that. Fuck doing anything else. So I'm going to pick that as next. Brad Tavares, clean W, outstruck him. Good win. Cortavius Romious exposed, and he's getting cut from the UFC. Missed weight by a shitload. He was 139.5. And then low fight IQ cost him, bro. Romious has shit fight IQ. He had some moments. Had the back of Chang Ho Lee, and then he shoots for a fucking armbar. What is the logic? Control the back. Be patient. My God. Chang Ho Lee did look like the Korean Habib with the way that he beat the fuck out of Romious on top, but holy hell. Respect to Chang Ho Lee getting it done. I mean, he's a good athlete. He's in good shape. Wrestling is definitely strong. Kind of a chaotic striker. These guys were like just blitzing each other. I really don't think Chang Ho Lee is that good. It's just, a matchup against a guy towards the bottom end of the bantamweight division who has a very sus fight IQ, even though he's got skills. He's got a sus fight IQ. Makes him look better. I definitely don't think he's ready for much of a level jump because when you think of the bantamweight prospects, Bernardo Sopai, monster. Cody Haddon, absolute savage. Alexandre Topuria, my God. Like, who's he going to fight? The bantamweight division is filled with killers. Huh. Chang Ho Lee? Colin Loughran? I don't know if that would make sense, right? Because you never know. Guys from certain markets that are representing countries, it's like they want to match them up in a certain way. I don't know, maybe not. But Chang Ho Lee, Colin Loughran's not a crazy take, I don't think. I think that's a possibility. Looking at maybe Carlos Vera, Chang Ho Lee next for Cortavius. Bro, he's getting released. Losing 2 fights in a row and Gaston Bolanos and Chang Ho Lee. And then now going out there and also missing weight as well. Like, I don't think they're keeping Romious on the roster. I feel like there's no point to stick around and keep him. I feel like he's out. I feel like he's gonzo. But Chang Ho Lee, I like, chasing the more, not even exciting fights, but one of the weirder matchups. Like, I like a Colin Loughran fight for him. I prefer that. But, dude, when you look at these animals, fuck, soul pie, holy shit. He's not ready for that next level. Damon Blackshear, like, guys that are outside of the rankings that are fucking nasty. Javid Basharat, I think he'd get out kickboxed. Bantamweight is so fucking stacked, so good luck to Chang Ho Lee trying to make a run, but he's going to get checked at some point. The road to UFC guys always get checked eventually. Not yet. Co-main event, Pat Sabatini absolutely exposed Joannis and Brito. Holy shit. Holy shit. Should have said holy shit with the last one, but no, I wouldn't have meant it. This is the holy shit. Joannis and Brito got absolutely grapple fucked. Pat Sabatini looked like a menace to society with dominant grappling, bodying Joannis and Brito and just throwing him around like a fucking child for 3 rounds. It's hard to imagine Damon Jackson knocked Sabatini out in the first round. It was such a crazy outcome. And then Diego Lopez fucking destroyed him. But now Sabatini's looking good, man. Beating Brito, last time Pierce. Pat Sabatini, when he's got a big grappling edge and you can't do anything, you're fucked against him. And I feel like he's just an interesting guy to watch, man. Wow. Pat Sabatini. Who the fuck would he fight? Just beating Brito, who's towards that top 25. I don't hate Pat Sabatini versus Muhammad Naimov. I think that could make sense. Potentially when the UFC goes back to the Middle East. I think that's a possible outcome for them. Other options, I kind of like that one. Muhammad Naimov stands out to me as a potential fight for him. I think that could be pretty cool. I like the possibility of that fight. Sabatini Naimov. It's a quality jump in competition. Naimov's pretty solid. Felipe Lima beat him, and then his last fight, he beat Khan Ofli. But Sabatini might deserve something bigger. He's in a weird spot, right? He beat Brito, who was really hyped up, only lost to William Gomez. But it's like Sabatini's been on the roster a long time. It's not like he's going to get a top 15 shot, though. I'm looking at the guys towards the top 15. I don't think he's getting a Yusuf Zalal fight. Pat Sabatini. Let's see something. Actually, I want to double check something. Did Pat Sabatini, or am I delusional? Did he already fight Chepe Mariscal on the regional scene? Did they fight? Yeah, he did. He lost a split decision to Chepe in 2018. Chepe's on such a roll right now. It'd be hard to like sell it. Like, yeah, that's absolutely the fight next. But a rematch between him and Chepe wouldn't be crazy. If not that, I like the Muhammad Naimov fight for him. For Joannis and Brito, bro, he got bodied for 3 rounds. It was a really bad look. I think Billy Q is going to do another fight. I like Billy Q versus Joannis and Brito next. That might be sacrificing Billy Q, but it might not be. I think Brito's kind of been exposed as a bit of a hype job, man. He's an explosive puncher, but grappling's a little sus. I don't know, man. Without the beard, he looked kind of washed. And he got fucking handled with a lopsided decision loss here. So I think he's getting definitely a step down. Maybe Billy Q's the fight for him. It wouldn't blow my mind. Makes some sense, dude. That makes a lot of sense. Too much sense. Then it's like, what do you do? Kyle Nelson? I'm going to say they go with Billy Q, but could be a stretch. We shall find out. Sabatini smothered him up for 3 rounds and just grapple fucked the shit out of him. Bit of ground and pound. Definitely better than the Finney fight. But not great. Not great. Respect to Sabatini. savage W for Philly. Menace in the grappling department, man. And I want to see more. I want to see if Sabatini can actually make a run. Lost to Diego Lopez in his most recent loss. That is aged like a fine wine. He's in the fucking main event next week for the belt. Now, the main event, Josh Emmett, Lerone Murphy. Maybe some controversy, but not on my end. On the community's end. Because in my live chat, you psychopaths were telling me it's Emmett 3-2. Somebody had Emmett 4-1. I was flabbergasted. I thought you could have even scored in the first round for Lerone Murphy. You could have gave Lerone Murphy 50-45 in a close one, and it wouldn't have been that crazy. I know somebody say, no way, no way. Okay, 49-46 is fair. Give him like the third round, some moments. 48-47, if you want to give him the first, I guess. I don't know. I thought the third was more clear than the first. I really thought Lerone got the first. Maybe I'm a fucking wild man. It's not like it was an uber impressive win for Lerone Murphy, but like you have to rate that elbow early in round one. I know the headbutts what caused the cut, but that elbow was nasty. He worked a lot of lead leg side kicks. He worked a lot of movement. He frustrated Josh Emmett. Emmett had a bit of wrestling success, but not really much success as far as control when they actually hit the mat. A lot of the control time was cage work. Lerone Murphy's hands looked pretty good. Jab was on point. Footwork was quality. Attacks to the legs were solid, I'll say. Emmett threw some power bombs, landed a couple, but nothing flush. And Murphy rolled with shots well, and then the other ones he blocked pretty well. They just simply got away of them, got out of the way of them. Lerone did buckle Josh Emmett in the 5th round, which I think definitely secured him that round and then had secured him the fight. I think 4-1 on the scorecards. Big right hand got through. Emmett was chasing a lot, and he couldn't really track Lerone Murphy down, and by round 5, he was super frustrated. Even when Emmett was like bursting, throwing these big shots, Lerone Murphy was blocking a lot of them, even though the visual was like, oh, Emmett's pressing forward with power. It wasn't like accurate strikes that were landing with much real force, right? They were just shots that had a lot of thud on them that were getting deflected. Lerone Murphy was more accurate. Lerone Murphy was technically superior, and he had the biggest moment of the fight, rocking Josh Emmett, and he also cut him up. So I feel as though Lerone Murphy secured a definite win. No controversy here. I don't think it's a robbery. It was just not a jaw-dropping win, not a wow performance. I want to see Lerone Murphy fight the best in the world. It was like, okay, Lerone, you're pretty good. Crafty, technical, able to outwork him, outstrike him. The damn featherweight division at the top is a bit of a weird position because Lerone Murphy is absolutely top 8, but does he fight somebody like an Arnold Allen next? Arnold Allen is without an opponent, but I don't know how quick Lerone will want to turn around. I like the idea of doing the Battle of the UK. Lerone Murphy versus Arnold Allen would be a cool fight to find out who's the best from that region. There's a possibility they could attempt a different direction for Lerone. Undefeated. Is it crazy that maybe he'd fight against even a Movsar Evloev? But I heard Movsar say something about having a date. They might be doing Movsar Evloev versus Brian Ortega. That wouldn't shock me, man. But Lerone deserves somebody of like the high caliber cloth. Maybe the winner of Pitbull and Yair Rodriguez for Lerone Murphy. Those are possibilities. It needs to be a fight that can get him into contention now. Say what you want about the performance not being uber impressive. Beating a Josh Emmett is a massive accolade, and Emmett's losses as of recent have only been against guys that have had belts. Yair Rodriguez, yes, it was an interim belt, but still, title challenger and former interim champion. And then his other loss was Ilia Topuria, who currently is the world champ, but come Saturday is vacating the belt. And Topuria might be fighting Charles Oliveira. There was a leak on the UFC Espanol that potentially that fight's going down at Noche UFC 320. And oh my God, if that's true, at lightweight, fuck a title fight. I don't give a shit. It should be for the BMF belt, to be fair, because the real BMF champ should be Topuria because he knocked out Holloway without the BMF on the line, but now is vacating. Whatever. Fuck the belt. Fuck the title. This is where his badass fights. That's absolutely a badass fight, and I hope it's true. For Josh Emmett, he's still good. He's still there. He's still alive. He's not completely done with. he's going to just probably sit on the sidelines for a bit and get a feel of who's going to be available. I don't know. I don't think it's a retirement, but like, I don't feel like you give him Yusuf Zalal. Does he fight Yusuf Zalal next after losing this one? Maybe in another fight night main event at the fucking Apex? Please get out of the Apex already. My God. Does he fight a Sean Woodson if Woodson's successful against Dan Ige? Maybe. Crazy take. Gene Silva knocks out Bryce Mitchell. Josh Emmett, Gene Silva could be a badass fight for a pay-per-view, and they do it in Brazil too. Put Josh Emmett in enemy territory at like 41. I'm not opposed to it. I feel like Emmett's going to want to get back in there. I definitely don't think he's retiring after this loss. It wasn't one of those performances that you retire from. It was one of those performances where you're like, okay, he's just a little bit of a step behind, and he got outworked by a younger, more primed, up-and-coming guy like Lerone Murphy, who I said is like the featherweight Leon Edwards, but a little more thud to his shots, a little better boxing, a little less wilt in him than Leon. I know Leon's a former world champ, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Leon mentally starts to have lapses. It was a good win for Lerone Murphy. It's just he's lacking a highlight. Lerone Murphy has not finished a fight in years. His last finish was 2021 against Makwan Amirkhani. Since that point, he is on an absolute tear still. He's on a nice win streak. I mean, the dude's never lost a fucking pro. Unbeaten streak. 16-0-1. 17-fight unbeaten streak. But he's been a decision king. All decisions. Hasn't found that moment of wow. I mean, his big shot against Emmett in round number 5, I guess, is his wow moment. But he's not much of a needle mover. Hard to say exactly where the UFC puts him, but timelines are going to kind of determine everything. If Ortega versus Movzar is happening, which I have this weird hunch that it is, the Arnold Allen fight with Lerone Murphy could be a pretty real top contender type matchup. What else are you going to do? You could do the Yair and Pitbull winner, but I feel like if Pitbull wins, they're going in a different direction. Yeah, man. Tough spot to be in. Lerone Murphy, like he's real close to the elite, but he doesn't have enough polling power to like demand anything, you know? But I don't think they're going to make him fight someone behind him. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, well, Lerone, Bryce Mitchell, and, Gene Silva fighting. Gene Silva knocked him out. Okay, you're fighting Gene. Nah, I don't think they'll do that to him. But, right, not like a demand for a Lerone Murphy fight. But him and Arnold Allen would be cool as, UK battle. Fucking like a, international title on the line. Who's the best in the nation? I want to see it. So hopefully at some point we see it, regardless of if it's next or not. That was the fight night card. My God, it wasn't great. We got to review the picks. Rocky road on the picks, but keeps the main event calls looking pretty fuego for this year. 9-3 on main event calls this year. So my main event takes have been fucking money. Lerone Murphy wins a decision, which was a perfect prediction. Had Brito here, took the L on the chin. Thought Romious had a shot, took the fucking fat L. Picked Tavares by decision, perfect pick there. Gurule by decision, fat L. Osbourne knocked him out. Valentin by upset, no. He got smothered for 3 rounds, but Valentin did more damage. So, fuck, I guess that's on the bright side of things. That's on the bright side. It goes to a split decision. Fuck it. Spread is live there. Holy shit. Absolutely. It's crazy. Barbosa, perfect prediction by submission, and she gets it done over Belbiţă. McKee, underdog call, hits money there with Frunza. Lookboonmee, money pick there over Istela Nunes. Lost with Falcão to Henry, bad call. Lost with Uran, but he had a fighting shot. It wasn't a bad pick, honestly. It's a loss, which makes it a bad pick, but the vision was right. And then the Demopoulos pick over Alencar aged like shit. So, yeah, bad record on this card. 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss. 1 win, 3 losses, 2 wins, 3 losses, 3 wins, 3 losses, 3 wins, 4 losses, 3 wins, 5 losses, 4 wins, 5 losses, 4 wins, 6 losses, 4 wins, 7 losses, 5 wins and 7 losses. Fuck. But at least the main event pick hit. Davey Grant not being the savage dog. Well, he was a savage dog, but the fight not happening killed the fucking moment. And Nzechukwu fight getting canceled killed the fucking moment. It is what it is. The Apex have gotten me recently, but don't worry. We got a pay-per-view next week. The pay-per-views have been fucking fuego. So I'm excited to break down UFC 314, redeem myself a bit. And then the next Apex card, I'm coming in fucking locked and loaded, bro. Holy shit. I'm motivated to crush an Apex card right now after this one. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off a little bit, but it's fine. The community is fabulous. I love each and every one of you guys. Make sure you all hit the like button. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the card. It wasn't great. 4.5 out of 10, bro. Let's just keep it a buck. 5 out of 10, maybe. 2.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's a 2.5 out of 5-star card. And I'm a nice guy with it because I love the UFC, but it might have been a fucking 2-star card at best. Some people will say a 1-star card. To be honest, a 1-star. For the Apex, though, 2-star. It was not great. It was a 4 out of 10. Fuck the 4.5. It was rough. It was rough. If it was on a star rating like hotels, it'd be a 1-star hotel. It'd be a fucking motel. But is what it is. I mean, at least we saw, Rhys McKee look slick. At least we saw Barbosa win. Romious and Chang Ho Lee was a good fight. Osbourne's knockout was sick. The Finney fight was god-awful. Yeah. Satybaldiev almost dropped Buday in round number 3. Rocked him. Whoa. That's the card. You guys know how the game goes. We keep bringing the thunder. I appreciate my Savages support, and I love each and every one of you. Smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Subscribe. I'm bringing the thunder for UFC 314. Don't worry. Still, over the past, 6 out of 8 cards, Savage Doglock is hit. And the only loss here is a replacement. So 6 out of 7 on the true Savage Doglocks, not including a replacement. I feel pretty good about everything. UFC 314, I'm ready for. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. W in the comments if you got nothing to say. I'm signing off. Good night. Peace out.